Yo guys, what's up? I just discovered about the Triple I initiative today, which is a joint showcase of game developers where they show news about games that are already out and updates for it, and games that are going to be coming out. And I discovered a couple of things today too. Very excited. Spire 2 is coming. We're going to look at some news and the trailer for that. And one of the Triple I initiative games is Dino Lords. And people that know me and watch my stream said I'm probably gonna like this one. So we'll look at those two trailers, we'll look at some screenshots for Spire, and I want to talk a little bit about the Triple I initiative. This is news to me. I did not find out about this before. There are of course many games shows, and eventually game shows either need to be or want to be monetized extra. So what we see in a lot of those game showcases, including the boomer ones from way back when, as well as the new ones, eventually there are more and more advertisements inside of it, which is of course, I mean, I think it's normal. Is it necessity? Is it just extra profit? I can never judge from the outside, but it just seems this natural trend towards putting in ads in order to sponsor the whole thing or maybe make an extra buck. The Triple I initiative says there's no ads in it whatsoever, and I actually took a little look at it. Maybe we can look at it next time, the whole showcase. But it's just 45 minutes of devs getting together and putting one trailer after the next. No ads for now, though. Who knows if this thing starts picking up and taking off in a couple of years. You'll have ads there as well. But first of all, let's take a small look at Dino Lords, because I think it's not going to take as long, and then Spire. I'm a huge fan of Spire. It's my number 6 favorite game, below Brood War, number 5, when I did my top 10 list recently. But I feel like it might overtake and enter top 5, because I'm not playing a whole lot of Brood War right now, and I'm playing a whole lot of Spire number 1. And as it turns out, number 2 is coming out. We'll take a look at it. But first, Dino Lords, straight from the Triple I initiative, where they also announced the Darkest Dungeon 2 free expansion that's coming out called Kingdoms. But I've never played Darkest Dungeon 2 yet, so I don't know. I played 1, and 1 is pretty good. But without further ado, let's look at Dino Lords. So it's that kind of feng shui, well, maybe not feng shui, that kind of like homesteading feeling that many games these days have. Like Valheim feeling, Against the Storm. Set up your settlement. Northgard Against the Storm, I guess. Kind of feel like this. They're billions. Medieval setting. Modular building. Some people might call this an RTS. It's of course not comparable at all to Warcraft 3, perhaps more to They Are Billions. It looks like you make a town and then defend it. So that's more like They Are Billions. Kind of like a tower defense, but with units. Okay, there's dinosaurs. Clever girl. I wonder if you can only play as blue or also as red. It looks like you're playing as blue. And I wonder if they'll have a multiplayer. Wishlist on Steam now. Alright. That's kind of interesting. We're gonna need to take a look at the Steam page for Dino Lords before we go on to Spire. I did wishlist it just now. Let's see how they call themselves. Dino Lords is an RTS. At which point I'm always thinking, okay, it's an RTS, but what kind of RTS, right? Humans have a need for labeling, and it's not a StarCraft-like. It's not a Blizzard Classic RTS, but then They Are Billions and Frostpunk are RTS, so we need more terms. Yeah, I've played They Are Billions. The trailer shown on Triple I was better. Let's see, Triple I Dino Lords, maybe it's different.
We didn't think the Viking raids could get any worse.
I think.
The Danes are coming!
I think it's okay.
A lord of England must tame the land.
Pretty simplified, right? The graphics.
Establish
Looks
a
okay.
thriving village and keep it supplied.
Medieval,
as it grows.
cartoonish.
Construct fortifications.
It's
and
cute.
build a mighty castle. Train your forces and prepare.
I generally
to
prefer
man the ramparts.
gritty or high
For
fantasy
our enemies
over
have
cute.
harnessed an ancient terror.
Still better than Stormgate. It is better than Stormgate, yeah.
In this of steel and scale. Only the bravest leaders The ones who can defend their strongholds. The ones who can raise an army.
It looks okay, but the straw on the house is just too fluffy.
The ones who can fight together.
It sounds like nitpicking to me.
Will be known as Dino Lords.
Yeah, so I think the gameplay loop they're going for...
Wishlist now on Steam.
The gameplay loop they're going for is like there are billions. Alright? Build fortifications, command units, and defense. It's basically like more than a tower defense, less than a Warcraft or a Starcraft. And that makes me feel like there's no multiplayer. I think this is 100% a single player game, which generally means it is much less stringent in its requirements on mechanical execution of the game, you know, engine, because it's not built for multiplayer or esports. I think it's very liberating as a developer that you don't need to worry about that kind of stuff, about multiplayer and balance and stuff and angry communities and matchmaking complaints. And then you're not reliant on people, you know, populating your multiplayer server. Because even if a good game like Godsworn is in early access, which I tried and showcased recently, I've heard some people say they log in a couple of weeks into the early access and they can't find other people playing the game. And that's always the problem with MP, right? But it has a pretty nice single player, so that's the most important thing to build on. I think even for multiplayer RTS, you need to make sure your single player is good, because multiplayer, you can't force it, you can't guarantee it. Okay, that's Dino Lords. Now let's take a look at the one I'm really excited about, Slay the Spire 2. I realize I haven't even seen Slay the Spire 1 trailer, so I don't know how to compare it. It's the silent! The Spire is back. Unslain, Ironclad. Necro Skeleton Guy. 3 classes. They're only showing 3. What about the Watcher? What about Defect? Hello again. There's not just gonna be 3, is there? Surely there'll be more than a few. And then there's a couple of screenshots in Slay the Spire Steam page. Let's take a look. So first of all, graphical impression. Very little improvement or difference from number 1. I would say graphics were never the strongest part of Slay the Spire 1. I think they were good, functional, they were clean and recognizable and good contrast and so on, but not extremely realistic nor extremely artistic. They were just good. We can see, at least from this screenshot, they said it's going to be early access 2025, which is next year, right? Which is crazy. 2025 next year, like, kind of have trouble processing that. Most of the things are in the exact same place that they were before. The Ascension used to be here. Now it's here. You've got the gold, you've got the life, your class. In Slay the Spire 1, it says your class name here. The Defect, the Ironclad, the Silent, the Watcher. Looks like they've dispensed with that. Card count, the map, settings, deck count. You've got your discard, so your deck card, your discard pile. Graphics on the cards probably looks a little better. Let's say the picture. The frame is different. I'm not sure if I like it more or less. It's not Ascension, that's the floor. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. There's no Ascension here yet. Thanks for correcting me, OWM. And then you've got the Ironclad. You've got your opponent here. This is probably Weaken. This is Strength. It looks like they separately depict Strength and Weaken now. Or let's say Strength down, Strength up. Oh no, this is probably +4 Strength for a turn. And this is a debuff icon that says it's going to go down at the end of it. That's probably what that is. Damage, yeah. Good old Slay the Spire, let's say. Next one. This is the Silent. They don't show any cards here. The Necrobinder is what it's called. Start with 35 health only. Very, very little. 99 gold, as usual. A wandering lich, who seeks to bind the forgotten corpse, calls upon her trusty left hand. How do they know? Is it the nails? It's the pelvis, isn't it? They looked at Necrobinder's pelvis. Calls upon her trusty left hand, Asti, in combat. It's the cute lips. She doesn't have any lips. Calls upon her trusty left hand, Asti, in combat. I wonder if Asti has his own life pool. I guess so. I think this is one of the first female necromancers that I've ever heard about in games. Aside from like Diablo, perhaps Diablo 4 or 3 or whatever, where maybe you can pick necro and then you can pick whatever gender. Like there's one for each. But usually when there was one token gender that's split, it's usually the rogue is an archer, the sorceress or the wizard is... Why did I say the rogue is an archer? I mean the rogue is a female. It's synonymous with each other. Rogue is female. Everybody knows it. The rogue is an archer. The female is a female. Female is a rogue. Archer is a... And usually necromancer was a dude. So that's cool. First female necromancer. Here's a Might and Magic as female necromancers. In 3. Here we have more of the silent. Got a couple of relics. The same relic. That looks like Bag of Marbles. The pen, 10th damage does double, the 10th attack does double damage. So I wonder, they keep so much of the same core game mechanics, so it's like not very risk-taking, but perhaps that's the safe thing to do, and that's exactly what the player base wants, because we all love Slay the Spire 1 so much. So then probably the variations that this game has is that the map is going to be different, the enemy monsters are going to be different, the bosses are different, so you get a different gameplay loop from that. And if they really are like this, like going to keep many of the same relics, then probably they will have just added a whole bunch of relics to the equation. Save things usually suck. It might be good. I think it might be better. Yeah, I mean, risks are always fun, but, you know, it's a risk. We will either like it more or less. If we like it less, it'll be known as the worst one. They saw how people complain about Darkest Dungeon 2, so they play it safe. Yeah. Yeah. I think people like Slay the Spire so much, even to this day, that something very similar to it is probably going to be well liked. I mean, I would love if we could see both results in alternate universes. One where they took a risk and we get to see what that's like, and then one where it's more similar to it. Of course, I'm only basing it on a couple of screenshots, so I don't know everything. Why bother with 2 when it's the same as 1? Well, it is different, but if it is really very similar, it's almost like it's just a mod. I don't want to judge it before I see it, right? But we're just talking hypotheticals. People did things with mods, right? The Downfall mod that I've never tried yet, that I'm deliberately not trying yet, because I want to complete the main game first. And if it is actually not different enough, then it just feels like a mod of their own game. And they call it 2, but maybe you should see it more as an expansion. I don't know. I don't really want to like solidify any judgments in your mind about it. You can make your own judgments. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. I'm very likely gonna play it or check it out. Hopefully it'll be just as good. What they could have done, let's just hypothetically, right? What they could have done is they could have made it look insanely better graphically. They could try to invest whatever profits they had and make it look way better. Not always a success either for people. No matter what, I'm pretty sure it'll be more of a sequel than Overwatch 2 ever was. Yeah, that's true. I love the Blizzard line. It's becoming a new standard. Or like maybe Blizzard and Stormgate are becoming at least my community's comparison standard. I don't know about others, right? Does it look better than Stormgate? And will it be a better remake than Overwatch 2 or a better sequel? Will it be a better remake than Reforged? A better sequel than Overwatch, or will it look graphically better than Stormgate? These are the three primary standards you have to satisfy. And the fourth one is, does it set pot of coffee for you? Does it make tea? These four things. If it does those, we can start looking at the other things. Along your travels, you stumble upon a dark, amorphous polyp. You can sense it is very old and very evil. Approach. Lose 6 HP. Enchant an attack with Corrupted. Remove a random card from your deck. Kill it with fire. Alright. Slay the Spire. Civilization has waited 1,000 years for the Spire to reopen its doors. Has it been that long? Return to the Spire and face friends and foes in this sequel to the quintessential roguelike deck builder. How high will you ascend, and what truths lie at the top? If Slay the Spire 1 is anything to judge by, there are no truths at the top. There's just click, 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 and go again. Deck building galore. New Slayers join the fray with their own sets of cards, mechanics, and personalities. Try out more archetypes and master them at your own pace. The Spire forever awaits those who dare challenge it. The Spire isn't what it used to be. Encounter all new enemies, events, and treasures await, as the rooms and items you discover change each time you play. Try risky builds or play it safe. As you explore countless... This description could be given for Slay the Spire 1 as well, right? This is not a departure from the original. Find yourself in peculiar scenarios and confront the bosses of each act. New ways to play, which are not yet announced. Rebuilt from the ground up. STS2 was completely rewritten from the ground up in a new game engine. We're bringing in modern features, incorporating all new visuals, and expanding modability. Okay. Coming to early access again. STS success comes from our community. It sounds corny, but the extra mile many of you went to report issues, do our QA, translate content announcement, create long video essays, make excellent LOL tier lists, and draw goofy or gorgeous fan art is the reason we're doing it all again. We love our job. Okay, Slay the Spire 2. I am going to add it to my wish list on my other browser where I'm logged in. What do you think? Do you think you're going to check out Slay the Spire 2? Or Dino Lords? Are you going to pre-order it if you could? Let me know in the comments.